Hello. How's it going, folks? How's it going? Welcome to the Patriotic Rancher Show. I am your host, the one, the only, Mr. Brutally Honest. It is so good to have you guys here today. Holy Jehoshaphat, here it is, Friday, March the 8th already. Wow. March the 8th. I tell you what, time flies. Time flies. And, it's just amazing what happens over a couple of days, isn't it? Wow, it really does. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's show is going to be different. And I fully expect to not have very many viewers. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but as of late, my views have gone way down. And that's okay. Because I'm saying stuff not everybody wants to hear about or wants to talk about. So I'm losing a lot of people. So hopefully you guys stay with me and watch this with me today, because I'm really not going to cover politics anymore today. We might touch on it just a touch, but we're not going to cover politics a lot because we're so inundated with politics. So we're going to cover something different. So before we get started, everybody knows how we do this. Let's say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You know, those words mean a lot to me, as they should to you, because we do have a lot of liberties and freedoms. Even though people are trying to take them away, we do still have a lot of them. So we better enjoy them while we have them, ladies and gentlemen, because as a collective, residents and citizens of this great country of ours, I hate to tell you this. I hate to be the one to say it, but I'm going to say it. We ain't doing a damn thing to keep them, or not. And I'm just going to be blunt about it. And that's just how it is. We're not keeping our liberties and freedoms. We're just letting it just do whatever. And that's a shame. So tonight's show is going to be a little different. Oh, you noticed that, huh, Harry? You know, it started warming up down here, and I got tired of having hair all over me all the time. So, you know, I figured it was time to shave. So, all right, let's see who's in here. We know Harry's in here. We got Robert. How you doing, Robert? Easter, Scott Grimes, Joni Wells. How you doing? Mr. Finnerty, how are you, young man? Marie Jordan, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. Linda Roger Sexton, how are you? Barbara Danko, how are you? You guys be sure to like and invite. Now, Harry told me something. On your page, on the page that you're watching this on, and probably on your cell phone too, but when you go to share this, it'll bring up a deal down there where you can share it and just invite people, or you can do a watch party. Hit the watch party. Just for shits and giggles, hit the watch party. Because like Harry was telling me, he says you can invite everybody that's in your messenger. Everybody that's on your friends list. You can invite everybody. So everybody try that tonight. This is something new. I want everybody to try a watch party tonight. Because I guarantee you what, you got people on your friends list that's never seen this show before. So just out of curiosity, let's try it. Let's try something new. Let's get away from the same old, same old. Let's try something new and see how that works. Well, Joni Wells, that is your name, Joni Wells Martin. And I know I'm famous for saying all three names. It's just me. It's my daughter, Kaylee Dawn Logan. I call her Kaylee Dawn all the time. I do. Sorry, it's just me. That's how I do things. It's just a Southern thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the show tonight is, like I said, it's not going to be about politics, but it's going to be about something else that I think is very important to each and every one of us. And before I get going, I've done screwed up. Because I'm supposed to say, welcome to the Patriotic Rancher Show. I am your host, Mr. Brutally Honest, right here on Redcon One Media. The truth is here. And the truth's always going to be here. So, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for starting a watch party. I know Harry started a watch party too. But anyway, we're being inundated all day long, every single day. If it isn't about President Trump, it's President Trump himself. And I'm a Trump guy, so don't take this the wrong way. But if it isn't about President Trump, it's Trump. And if it isn't about him, it's about the Democrats and what they're doing. And if it ain't about the Democrats, Barbara Danko, all you got to do is just push watch party and it comes up on your own page. You can start a watch party right there on your own page. And that's how it's done. You know, when you hit the watch party, it pops up and it tells you, it's pretty much self-explanatory. But everything is about Trump. It's about the Democrats, about OAC. It's about the Muslims. It's about everything and nothing good. There's really been nothing good on social media. There's been nothing good on the news. Oh, I spent all day. Yes, I did, Leslie. I spent all day looking through the internet, trying to find good stories. And ladies and gentlemen, I didn't find any. You know, I remember when we got the news stations reported the happenings that was good. We're not doing that now. You know, and all this social media stuff and the internet's out there, you'd think you would start somebody would have something good they're putting on that'll last for a while, but there's nothing. I spent all day looking, but I do have something good to show you folks. I got something good to show you guys. What are you doing? I want to introduce you guys. I want to introduce you guys to the new mascot. Come here, Wizard. What are you doing? Oh. Get up here, young man. Everybody say hello. This is Wizard. That's his name. His name is Wizard. He is he's a border collie. He's a border collie, Australian. Yeah. We had a bitch dog, border collie, and her name was Tigger. And yes, good boy. Her name was Tigger, and she had the name for the right reason, because she literally sat there and bounced. You can ask, dog would jump so high, her in the windows of the house just jumping, and she would bounce and not stop. And anyway, I picked her up yesterday from a good friend of mine, Sean Reed, up there in Hazleton, Kansas. I gave him Tigger. Now, Sean was a sniper in Afghanistan and several other places in the Army, and a couple places I can't mention. But Sean, like a lot of folks, has PTSD real bad. And I gave him Tigger, and they just meshed together real good. She's real good for his PTSD because even when he's out cowboying and working cattle, it can hit him. And Tigger's always there for him. So this is out of her second litter. Let's see if I can do this. I don't know if I can or not. Yeah, he's making himself right at home. Oh, let me tip it up. There he is. Yeah, see there? He's making himself right at home. But anyway, so he's 8 weeks old. I think it is. That's how old he is. So we got a little bit of brother to train. And so she can start training him and seeing what's what. But, you know, that's one of the good things that's happened. And he's a handful too. He's just like his mama in some ways. But, you know, I'm sitting here looking at what's the good. What's the good stuff right now? Where's Americana? You know, I've been talking about this lately. You know, how do we make things better? We start supporting our communities. We start, you know, putting our money into our communities, into small business in our counties to help them grow. When they grow, the next county can do it and grow. And then we can start changing things in our state. But where's the good? Because as of late, the only thing that's being talked about is President Trump, about President Trump, Trump himself, or the Democrats, or what the Democrats are doing, or Pelosi, or what Pelosi's doing, how much she's been drinking, or what her bar tab is on the planes, or she can't keep her teeth in her mouth, or Ocasio-Cortez about how she's jumping into a vehicle when she walks a couple of blocks and thinking nobody's seeing her. And, you know, she's going into sandwich stores and their sandwich shops and people are taking pictures of her. So she thinks everybody's stalking her now, to her being proven wrong on a whole bunch of things. And especially when she's on these committees, and how now she could be in, because a couple of $1 million has magically disappeared, you know, and it's kind of like, enough. There's got to be 1,000 shows. There's got to be 1,000 shows out there every day. And it's nothing but politics. And I'm just like it. I'm a ranch hand. I work out here. We raise cattle, horses. I work at the sale barn. I've worked ranches my whole life. Donna Joe works at the hospital. And all we hear about is politics. I've literally spent every free moment of my day on the internet today, on Facebook, on the internet, everywhere I could go, looking for good, not wanting to find politics, not wanting to find the deep state, not wanting to find, you know, anti-government, not wanting to find really radical left, really radical right. I'm just wanting to find Americana. And you know what? It's a shame I didn't find it. I mean, I looked at every possible website you can think of, and I didn't find it. I fully expect to lose a lot of viewers on this show because of this subject. Gentlemen, think about it. We have lost our morals. We have lost our value. We have lost honor, respect, dignity. We have lost everything because we have not fought for the good. We're only fighting for the bad. That's it. That's all we're fighting for is the bad. If you think about it. Now, think hard about this, ladies and gentlemen. My phone line is open too. So you guys can call that phone line, and I don't have a problem with that at all. You guys can call it, and hey, yeah, give me a jingle because I want to hear from y'all today. I want to hear your opinions on this. That go in right? Yeah. I want to hear y'all's opinions on this. That one there, this one here. So you guys call me. That's 571. I don't know what that other thing is. But anyway, you guys can call me because I want to hear y'all's opinions on what is good. You know, I grew up hearing that the Boy Scouts were good. Girl Scouts were good. Well, not as of late, they're not. They've taken all the good away from them. Hey, wizard. They've taken all the good away from them. So there is no good in the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts anymore, like there was back in the day. Now, I got something that I'm going to personally share with you guys. And I told Donna Joe I was going to do this. So you guys give me 1 second while I grab them. Are they down here? Yeah. Okay. I want to share something with you guys. It's very personal. This is where basically I was raised. It's called Cal Farley's Boys Ranch. That's where me and my little brother was for the time I was a year and a half old. And my brother was 9 months, maybe 8 months old, as soon as he got potty trained. We were at Cal Farley's Boys Ranch. We got taken away from my mom and put out here. It's still in existence. It's still going today. But we were put out there. And I was, just to give you a hint when, my birthday's in 1964. My little brother's is 1966. So we were out there in he was born. We was put out there the 1st of 67. And that's where we lived. Now, Boys Ranch back then was hard. It was tough. 99% of the youth today cannot handle Boys Ranch. They can't at all. For the simple fact is because back then, I'm going to show you guys. Well, I'm going to show you senior pictures. Here's what the senior pictures look like, and this is in 1970. That's some of the senior pictures. Look at how they're dressed. Look at their haircuts. Look at the way these young men look. Now, at this time, there was no females out there unless they were part of the dorm parents. They were their daughters, then they were there. But other than that, there was no girls in here at all whatsoever. It was all boys. And we were put out there at a very young age. Now, preschool. Preschool. Look at that little cutie right there. That name says Bannister, but that's me. Oh, let me turn this a little bit more. Damn it. And that's my little brother right underneath me. And we grew up pretty tough. We had vocational agriculture 1 and 2. We had our cheerleaders were guys because there was no girls out there. We had football teams. We had VICA Auto Body, Chapel Choir, VICA Building Trades, B Club, Junior Staff, EVAE Club, whatever that is. And for sports, we had varsity football, B squad, 7th grade, 8th grade. We had wrestling, A team, B team, varsity basketball, freshman basketball, 8th grade basketball, 7th grade basketball, varsity track, freshman track, 8th grade track, and 7th grade track. But one of the things, too, we had was everybody participated in everything. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of me. Yeah. Does anybody recognize that couple right there? Does anybody recognize who that is? That's Roy Rogers and Dale Evans. And I'm sitting on Dale Evans' lap. And that picture right there, holding them fawns. Hello. But this is how I grew up. This is how I grew up, living in this kind of an environment where there was nothing fancy. There was nothing. Everybody, even down to us, there's me and my little brother wrestling right there. That's me and my little brother wrestling. We had to participate, even at a young age. No ifs, ands, buts about it. You had to participate. You couldn't sit out unless you was hurt. And if you was pretty much dying, then you could not do something. But Cal Farley built this place with the graciousness of his heart. He did it with his own money. There's Cal and Mimi Farley. That's them right there. He built this place. He was a guy who grew up in Amarillo, Texas. He was a boxer. He actually, for about 3 years, he was a hobo. And he was a boxer as a young man, started getting his life back together. And he met Mrs. Farley, and she helped him. And he started Cal Farley's Boys Ranch with zero money. Actually, a guy donated some land to him. And he started this to help young boys, the good. Now, here's the thing. Everybody that went out there was sent there through the court systems. Everybody was sent there via the court systems. Because even back then, ladies and gentlemen, instead of putting children in jail, he said, I can give them a home. Let me do something good for these kids in their lives. And I'm going to give them a home. I'm going to give them structure. I'm going to give them guidance. I'm going to give them discipline. I'm going to give them 3 square meals a day. I'm going to put clothes on their back. They're going to get an education. They're going to participate in sports. Cal and Mimi Farley did a very good thing by building this place. They did. And, you know, with everything they established out there, we here in 75, we had a group called Thespians, Thespians, whatever that is. I don't know what it is. We had a varsity glee club, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We always introducing brand new clubs out there. VOCT morning class, VOCT PM class, forensic science, even back in 75. VICA auto body, VICA building trades. Yes, we had VICA. You know, this is the stuff that the schools used to have, and maybe some of them still do, but a lot of them don't anymore. But this place was bad. I mean, it was hard. We had FFA. And you can see just from the pictures, a lot of kids were in FFA because out there at Cal Farley's, we raised our own meat. We raised our own pork. We raised our own chickens. We did all of our own butchering, everything. You know, where am I at on this one? Yep, there we are. 4th grade. Look at there. Look at that handsome feller. Look at that good-looking sucker. Now, here's one of the things, too. Cal and Mimi Farley did this to help boys out. Now, you got to remember the times. He actually started Cal Farley's Boys Ranch in 1951. 1951. 50 or 51 is when he started Boys Ranch. And he seen back then, with all the wrong going on in the country, he wanted to do something good. Now, the real reason why I brought this up today, because it's very important to me, and hopefully to you, is we're not seeing the good like Cal Farley's Boys Ranch. We're not seeing the good being talked about on social media, on the internet, in the news. We're not seeing it, ladies and gentlemen. We're not seeing pictures of kids actually being kids, of kids actually out getting to go fish and do anything, camping, fishing, hiking, whatever you want to call it. For the simple fact is, because I hate to say this, kids don't do that. Kids would rather spend 99% of their time on this thing. And you have to agree with me. They're sitting here doing this all day long. Or are they? I just seen them. Well, they're out there. Or they got these earplug things in. And they're walking around with those things on 24/7, tuning you out, tuning the world out, tuning everybody out. What good is that? What good is our children not being in FHA, FFA, VICA, VOTEC, the Thespians Club, which is actors I just seen. Thank you, Jerry Cox. Home economics, whatever, auto body, building trades. Why is our kids being raised by us to do that kind of crap? They are. Donna and I was talking earlier about this. And one of the things, too, that, I mentioned was, as a parent, when my daughter was born, I wasn't around when my son was born at all. I didn't get to meet my son till his 21st birthday. But when my daughter was born, I held her in my arms and I walked her over the window so the sun can shine in on her. And I'll never forget it. And I said, you're going to live a better life than I had, but I'm not going to give you everything you want. And what I mean by that is, I don't want her to work on a ranch. I don't want her to have to scrimp and save every day for everything that she has. I want her to get an education that I didn't. I want her to be better than me at everything, no matter what it is. Even if it's riding horses, I wanted her to be better than me. If it's better than me at roping, if it's better than me at figuring things out, I wanted that for her. But I see these kids today, and we lost that somewhere. We really did. We've lost that because these kids are no better than their parents. Actually, I think they're worse off than their parents. And it's a shame. And I grew up hearing people say, I'm not going to raise my child the way I was raised. Kind of like, okay. All right. Well, damn, Marita, that is not good. That's not good at all. You know, and one of the things too is these parents are saying, I'm not going to raise my child the way I was raised, but they did not say, I want them to do better than me. I didn't hear him say that. I just heard him say, I'm not going to raise them the way I was raised. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm also, and these parents who said, I'm not going to raise you the way I was raised, missed out on so much. So much. Because how much do you think you could have taught those kids if you would have raised them the way you were raised? You know, we got away from being parents to being their friends. We got away from the aspect of our children are always a winner no matter what, because there is no such thing as a loser. No matter if they finish dead last, so I'm going to give them a trophy or a ribbon to say they won. Well, I'm sorry, you lost. Get over it. Next time you will try harder, and you will try harder, and you will try harder, and one day you will win. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. You know, so I look at it this way, ladies and gentlemen. There is no good with these kids today because their parents didn't teach them any good. So therefore, to me, we've lost the good that was Americana. Now I have a challenge, and I'm going to abide by this challenge. I really am. The challenge is this. At 5 p.m. your time, whether it be Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific, I don't care, wherever you're at, 5 p.m., turn off your cell phones and have your kids turn off the cell phones too and put them up. In all honesty, put them up. No cell phones from 5 p.m. until the very next morning. The entire weekend from Saturday and Sunday, 5 p.m., all phones shut off. I'm going to do it. I know Donna Joe's on call. The only time I'm going to turn my phone on after 5 p.m. is I'll turn it on to do the call in for Big Sarge's show. But other than that, the only other time my phone will be on after 5 p.m. is if Donna Joe gets called in, because I always turn it on just because you never know. God forbid she gets into a wreck or something, or she hits a coyote or something, and she needs me to come get her, I will. That's the only reason why my phone will be on. But ladies and gentlemen, think about this. If we get back to the point of when we come home, get off our phones. Get off our phones. You got people in the house, talk to them. Watch TV together. Play cards together. Play board games together. Have family time. Because we're all so busy during the middle of the day that we can't do that. Now, Scott Grimes says he can't do that because he says, I can't do that. I live alone and need a phone for emergency. Scott, that is completely understandable. I completely understand that. So here's the biggest thing. This is just, if you can make it work in your house, do it this weekend. That's a challenge I have for you. Because I want to hear from you guys on Monday how it went. In all honesty, whether you got your grandkids over there, tell the grandkids, No 7 p.m. because we're shutting it off. And we got family time. And it's going to be about family. This is going to be one of those times where the good is going to come back. You know, because it is a challenge. It is hard. We all got these games downloaded on these things that we like to play. But I've been thinking about this today. You know, we're wondering where the good is. Well, the goods are in your community. The good is in your neighborhood. The good is somebody might be playing bingo tomorrow. Go play bingo. You know. But I understand if you need it for an emergency. Trust me, I do. I do. But here's the biggest thing. We got to figure out how to get the good back into America. We got to figure out how to get Americana back into America because we've lost it. I'll admit it right now 100%. We have lost Americana 100% in America. You know, I like I said, I searched the internet all day for some good. There's nothing. And I was plumb amazed. There was politics. There was negativity. There was depression, anxiety, malicious intent, narcissism, Satanist intent, evil intent. And I'm kind of like, where's the good? Where's the good? And I was really surprised that I couldn't find none. I found a couple clips of a brother surprising another brother coming home, Marine. I've seen probably 3 videos of that, and that was it. And I've seen a couple of cute ones with dogs, and one with a lady riding a dressage horse, and another horse got loose, and it was running around while she was doing her dressage pattern. I thought that was kind of cool, but that's about it, in all honesty. So we've lost Americana. We've lost people reporting on stuff kids are doing that are good. We really have. They're so interested in reporting everything that's bad and negative. Well, we need to get away from that, ladies and gentlemen. In all honesty, we need to bring Americana back. Because once we start bringing Americana back, that's another way to fix our government. That's another way that people can start saying, hey, this ain't right. And once we start bringing Americana back, maybe we can start getting sensitized again because we are way, way too desensitized. And you have to admit that. We are too desensitized to anything. If you're going to watch a video of a baby being aborted, to somebody being killed, somebody being beheaded, watching dogs being murdered senselessly, you're too desensitized. I'm sorry, but you are. I won't watch any of that stuff. I deal with life and death out here every single day. I do. And I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to sit there and click on it and watch it. No matter what it is, I'm not going to watch it. You know, I remember the days. Where we'd go to the park. I'd take my daughter to the park, believe it or not, just when she was like 2. Take her to the park, put her on the swing and everything, and on those horses that's got the big spring underneath them and stuff. And the park was full of kids. This is in Montana. Now there's nothing. Parks are empty. Parks literally are empty. There you go, Jimmy Collins. Jimmy Collins says, I think my youngest heard you, Chris. You said to me, you put your cell phone down and come in my room. There you go. There you go. You know, ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Hansen and his missus are working on something. I know Maya would like to get back to the shows of Americana, of good for kids. And I know that's going to be a huge challenge for them, trying to figure out what kind of good shows to produce. You know, we talked about the other day, you know, Donna and I was talking about, well, what kind of intros and outros and mid-rolls can we have on here that are suitable with the Patriotic Rancher that still has our core values on the Patriotic Rancher show. You know, we got to think back, well, there was Gunsmoke, Big Valley, the Andy Griffin Show, Mayberry RFD. Let's see who else. Petticoat Junction. Gomer Pyle, USMC. No, that's more for Redcon 1. Yeah, Gomer Pyle would be good for Redcon 1. You know, shows like that, but Big Valley, Have Gun Will Travel, The Rifleman, Rawhide, any of them. But Green Acres, you know, those shows were Americana. Happy Days. Believe it or not, one of my all-time favorite heroes, Archie Bunker. I loved Archie Bunker. I couldn't get enough of him. And even Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson was actually a part of Americana because he had clean comedy. He really did. He pushed the envelope, but it was clean. Compared to some of the stuff you see nowadays, it was good. But, you know, I know Jeremy and Maya is working on this. They've been doing it for a while, and it's going to be tough. But, you know, I'm going to support them 100%. I'm going to support them every which way, and we all should. Because it starts with us to bring the good back. Because maybe if we bring the good back on our little table and we start inviting people over, then we go from there. Now, the reason why I say that is, when was the last time you invited your friends over to play a board game or to play Parcheesi, or there's a game, it's with cards and you got a board and you got pegs in it, you got to move those pegs when you get so many points. Chinese checkers, Monopoly, Yahtzee, sorry, anything. When was the last time you did that, in all honesty? We don't. I guarantee you what, Donna and I have never invited anybody to this house to do that since we've been in Oklahoma. We haven't. Gary and Rita's come over and drank coffee and visited, but that's it. They were here and then they left. And so we're just as guilty as everybody else. You know, when I was shoeing horses full time, once a year I'd have a barbecue. I would put it on. I would buy all the meat, and I actually did a barbecue, not hamburgers and hot dogs. We had ribs, brisket, barbecue chicken, barbecue pork chops. Everything was barbecued. And it cost me, give or take, you know, $150. But there'd probably be 40 or 50 people there. And I did that to say thank you to all my clients. So we all came together and clients got to meet each other, and come to find out there was a lot of commonalities between them. And some of my clients knew other clients that they didn't know I was shoeing for, you know, and then believe it or not, we had a volleyball net put up too. So the kids played volleyball. I had yard darts set out so the kids could play yard darts. And even the adults got doing that. I had horseshoes set up so we could play horseshoes. I used to do that once a year. And to me, that brought back, just for that little amount of time, not only my way of saying thank you, but that brought back Americana, where people came together. Now, I've had people say, oh, I play with all these people on the internet. But the internet's one thing. How about you play with them in person? You know, I actually heard something today. A dad was talking about his daughter. He said that his daughter did not have very many friends at all, actually, in their hometown. Had 0 friends. But she was constantly on the internet talking to people, constantly on Skype, constantly talking to somebody. And he goes, who are you talking to? I'm talking to my friend. Well, where do they live? And this guy's like in Florida somewhere. He says, oh, they're in Bearby, Wisconsin. Well, him and his wife got to looking at things, and that she has 0 friends in their hometown. 0. But she has over 5,000 friends on social media, on all of the platforms she's on. She has 5,000 friends. Why is that? Why has it become that way with kids nowadays? Is there so much bad in your neighborhoods that your kids can't be friends with somebody there? Is there that much bad in your communities that your kids just can't find one person to be a friend with? I mean, this is something to think about. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if your children cannot have a friend where they live, does that mean they're going to stay there? You know, another aspect too, and you got to think about this. For years, you never moved away from where family was. Now, my family is completely different. My mom vacated where all of her other brothers and sisters was. My mom wanted to travel, so she did. Yeah. Anyway, she left. She came out of a family of 11. And my mom, I didn't meet my first relative on my mom's side until I was 11, 12, and they came out to Boys Ranch to see me. That's the first time I seen anybody on my mom's side of the family. My mom moved away from them, so I didn't grow up around family at all. And my mom never got us in touch with any family at all. So I really don't know what it's like to live around family. But back in the day, people did not move away from their family. They still lived in the same general area as their family, where they can be there in less than 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever. But that's how it was. But it's not that way no more. And that's understandable. That is understandable. You know, and here's the problem too. Coming from a big family like my mom's, I couldn't understand it. I started talking to my aunts and uncles up in Vermont, of all places. But they're tight. They are tight knit. And here's the funny part is, even though they're a tight knit family, there's Republicans, there's Democrats, there's independents, and there's socialists, there's lesbians, there's transgenders, there's Wiccans, it's a Heinz 57, but they're family. Now today, we don't have that. We don't have that at all. And I understand families move apart because of divorce, things happen. But That's part of Americana. Because we're old enough that our children might be around. So when was the last time you invited your children over to have a barbecue or just to play card games? No TV, no internet, no nothing. Just have fun, you know? So things happen in life. I understand that. Bad. It's not. Trust me, I grew up bad. I had things happen to me out at California's Boys Ranch I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And I'm not going to lie about it. But you got to take the good with the bad. I actually, when I was in college at the University of Great Falls, this is hilarious. You guys will like this. We had people there going to become therapists and psychiatrists. And they said, they put out this thing that we would like to test people on their mentality and that kind of stuff, the way of thinking and all that. I said, okay. They gave me their little spiel and tested me. Well, what's this? What do you think this is? You know, the ink thing, the ink blots and all that, and asked me all these questions. And then they come back, and then the teacher, I'm not lying, her name was Cindy Matthews. God rest her soul. She died of cancer, but she was a nice lady. She came up and says, I want to put you through this little thing. I said, sure. So she hooked all sorts of crap up to my head and everything. She held up this ink blot. I said, it's a butterfly. She goes, what's this one? I said, that's another butterfly. What's this one? It looks like 2 corn stalks. What's this one? It looks like 2 cows. You know? So she asked me my opinions on things. Well, that was the wrong thing to do. So I told her my opinions. And she came back and she says, you know, according to textbook, you have the personality, where you came from, and the things that happened to you when you were younger, and the way you was treated, and your life up to this point, you should either be in prison or dead. Because according to all the statistics that we've ever had, people like you live the life of depravity and crime. It's kind of like, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. She goes, so who taught you to be you? I said, me. There was nobody else. I had to do it on my own. She goes, how? I said, I got pants on, put boots on one at a time, pulled my pants up, tucked my shirt in, combed my hair, made sure I looked presentable, and went out and went to school and did my job. She goes, you had to learn that from somewhere, so I thought about that. And I did. I learned that from California's Boys Ranch. From the place that treated me the worst in my life, they taught me value, honor, dignity, respect. They gave me self-esteem. They gave me all my building blocks in life. Because every morning, even as a tyke, even as a little bitty tyke that came up to about my knee, I had to make my bed just as soon as I got out. I mean, at 2 years of age, I had to make my own bed. I had to wash dishes. I had to clear the table. I had to help set the table. I had to sweep the floors. I had to do everything. And like I said, at Boys Ranch, we all had to work. And so Boys Ranch, for all the bad that happened to me out there, ladies and gentlemen, Boys Ranch gave me the structure and the building blocks in my life. So that's where the good came from. So I had good and bad. But the good outweighed the bad. And I never thought about it until Donna and I was in there talking just a little bit ago. I promise you, I never thought about it because I have such hatred for the place. But it hit me. Boys Ranch. That's where I learned all of my everything. And I also remember there's a story too. We had an old, down at the rodeo, we had an old boy come out from the rodeo, and everybody in the country shows up at the California's Boys Ranch Rodeo. I mean, it's huge. We had the sheriff posse come from Amarillo. We had the sheriff posse come from Canadian, Texas. I mean, everybody came to this thing. It was huge. And I seen this guy, and he had a flat hat on just like mine. And he was riding this good-looking paint horse. And the horse was collected in such a way, but he was real loose on the reins, but boy, that horse was collected. And it looked like he was just floating on air when he was moving. And he showed me the bit in this horse's mouth. It was a spoon bit. It's, you just have to look it up. There's a spade bit and there's a spoon bit. And I was so at awe with him, the way it looked. And I told somebody right there, I'm going to be a cowboy one day. That's what I'm going to be. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a cowboy. So I talked to him. And he told me his name. And he said, if you ever get out to Elko, Nevada, look me up. Okay. So lo and behold, 16 years of age, I want to go to Nevada for the summer. I want to work on the ranches. I want to see what it's like to work on a big outfit. Because that's back then, Nevada, they was a million acres. Hey, Leslie O'Connor, how you doing? So I wanted to go out there. And I'm driving through, and I had a guy, Owen was riding with me. And we're looking at the map. I said, Elko. And I seen Elko, Nevada on the map. I'm kind of like, Elko. I know somebody from Elko. I mean, we're talking a good 10-year span, give or take. But Elko stuck in my mind. So I went to Elko, and we stopped at this, and that's when Elko was small. And I stopped in this little place and walked in there, and this lady was standing there. She goes, can I help you? I said, yes, ma'am. I asked her, I said, do you know where the Diamond A is? She goes, sure do. Just hold on a second. Okay. So she went around the corner and stuff, and it came back. Here comes this old man walking up. And I introduced myself, and he said, I heard you looking for somebody. I said, yes, sir. And I told him who I was looking for, Diamond A. And so I told him how I come to battle all this. He goes, well, that's my son. Just follow me. Well, he took me out to the ranch. We followed him out there, and it was his son. And his son at that time was the manager of the place. And we had our saddles with us. He said, put your saddle on. And we went out, rode, talked, and everything. When we came back in, he said, you boys got a job for the summer. I'm going to put you on. And I showed up there. I had a Billy Cook swelled fork saddle. It's a saddle's got swells in the front of it and a small horn. And, you know, we go out there, and I learned a lot with this man. I learned a lot with him and some old vaqueros. He actually had 3 vaqueros, not buckaroos, but vaqueros, the old Spanish cowboys working on that place. And these guys were hands with horses, hands with rope, and they just made everything look so majestic. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it just looked, damn. But anyway, I worked with them guys for the summer, and when I went to leave, I went to the barn to get my stuff. Went in to get my wood, my chinks, my spurs and everything, and my wood's gone. And I'm looking, and I see there's a brand new saddle there where mine was. Going, somebody stole my saddle. Oh, a wood is a saddle. Anyway, he took my saddle in, and he had a guy in town make me my first Wade saddle, my first buckaroo saddle. I was kind of like, and you know, the lessons that man taught me was good. It really helped me grow, start becoming the man I am today. We need more of that. I mean, I remember as a young toddler, what he said. And just by chance, I went to Nevada and I seen Elko on the map. Boom. So I went to Elko. We ran into each other again. And you know, here's the funny part, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's so cool about the agriculture community. and being a ranch hand and a rancher. That shit happens all the time. You run into people that you meet 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. You do. So, I mean, and to have that kind of good experience in my life, that was some more building blocks on who I am today. And to me, that's what's missing in America today. We have too many kids running around with diapers on. We have too many kids running around with all this crap poking out of them. That's just not poking out of their ears. They got big holes in their ear. If they don't have it there, they got it right here in the side of their jaw, even right here in their bottom lip, and it ain't from Copenhagen. You know, they got all sorts of spiky shit. We got people actually putting horns on their head. And that's not benefiting anything. There's nothing good about that. To them, yeah, it's good because they don't have to work because the government will pay them not to work. But I'm the type of person that I have to work. Because if I work, then I know I'm doing something right. If I know I'm doing something right, then it's good. And that's how I look at things. But that's what's missing. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Redcon One Media right here on Patriotic Rancher Show with your host, Mr. Brutally Honest. You know, the truth is here. The truth will always be here. And I will never tell a lie to you folks. Not once. Not even once. Because I know what? Brutal honesty is the only way to be, even if it hurts me. So, but yeah. You know, my biggest thing is this. If one person can help a young man, I know what happens if 1,000 of us did it. What if your family helped one person? Donna and I went and watched a movie. What was the name of that movie, honey? The one with Sandra Bullock, where she helped that football player. The Blind Side. I don't know if you guys have seen The Blind Side. Go see it. That touched me. My big ass was crying. It touched me. But here's the story of a lady seeing a boy walking down the road, brought him into his house. No clue who he was. Didn't know anything about him. Just a kid. He's coming home with me because I don't care. He's going to have a home. She winds up adopting him. Got him to go in school good. Got him to learning. And he went on and became a pro football player. You know, takes that one person to do something. You know, when Donna receives her package, please do a live. Okay, Marita, we will do that. Honey, Marita says when you get your package, we're supposed to do a live show of you opening it. I don't know if you heard that or not. But yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that, Marita. Not a problem. But, you know, ladies and gentlemen, here's the whole census behind this whole thing. Thank you, Harry. I really appreciate that. I want you guys to call me. I really do. I want you guys to call me more today than I have any other day. Because I want to know from y'all, what do you guys think of Americana? What is your version of Americana? Do you want it like it was in the 50s, the 60s? You know, Donna and I was talking, and Donna said to her, we've lost the good in America probably at about 30 years ago. Yeah. 30, 40 years ago, we started losing the good. And that's what we need back. Because negativity breeds negativity. But positivity breeds positivity. Now, I don't know about you folks, But positive will always outweigh the negative. Always, no matter what. You know, everybody needs help. Everybody, from a child to a grown adult. Everybody needs help. And if we can help the one person, and they help one person, and they help one person, and they keep passing along, and all of a sudden it's infectious, and everybody's helping everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, think on how we can turn our communities around. Think on how we can start finding the good. We won't all have to show up at the park just for the 4th of July. People start saying, hey, we're going to the park this weekend. You want to go? Or, hey, we're all meeting out here at the lake. Why don't you bring your tent? Come on out and share it with us. You know, we'll get you a spot. Don't worry about it. You know, if we started doing that more, then that things would come. Don't you think? I do. I really do. I think it would help. But to me, I think we started losing the good. It's like Leslie. I think we started losing the good, the beginning of it in the 60s. And it's not because of the hippies. That's not what I'm trying to say. Because I got some friends who were some hippies in the 60s. Hey, you want to know the funny part is? Those hippies from the 60s are the business owners of today. They are the CEOs of today. You know? So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I think mid-60s we started losing it. I think we started losing the good with our veterans coming home from Vietnam. I really do. Because there was so much hatred being thrown out there, not only from people of this country, but from the media. And I think the media had a hand in it. I really do. And here's the bad part about it. Here's the bad part. That hatred from the media really took over. And when that hatred from the media really took a hold, people bought it hook, line, and sinker. Hello, Harry.
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Hey, you were talking about friendship and stuff like that. You guys are my 8 o'clock family.
Well, thank you, sir.
People on here pretty regular all the time.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that.
You talked about that FFA.
Mm-hmm.
You're so true. What a great thing in school. I'm 60 years old and I still remember the FFA.
Oh yeah.
The stuff that they taught us, public speaking. We went around to big farms and we seen operations. You had to have a project. You keep records, you know what I mean? Keep a checkbook, stuff like that. We had small engines contests. We learned how to weld. My goodness, the stuff we.
Oh yeah, yeah. You did everything. You know, I was in FFA. My FFA, I joined in the 9th grade. I was a green hand in the 9th grade, and one of the cool things in my school, we had co-op ag. And what co-op ag was is I went to school half a day and work half a day. And my job is the one who gave me my grade. Now, when I did have to do stuff with FFA, then I didn't have to go to work because I did them with, we went out and castrated pigs, sheep, cattle. We bred animals. We did keep records of everything. We did welding, carpentry, roofing, everything associated with ranch or farm life, we did. We would actually tear tractors down and work on them. We rebuilt some stock trailers, all sorts of stuff. And yeah,
we also went out into the public and helped our neighborhoods. You know, like if a farmer needed something, he could get some of the boys to come over and help him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We did stuff all around the community. We planted trees.
Mm-hmm.
We did all kinds of stuff. We had a fruit sale. We sold fruit and got out and met people, took orders, you know what I mean? Another thing we did was parliamentary procedure and stuff like that. We learned how to hold meetings, and we held meetings, and how to, you know, properly do that. You know, a lot of kids and stuff don't, even grown-ups don't even know how to go to meetings anymore and pass stuff at school board meetings and stuff like properly do that kind of stuff, you know.
Right.
But you learn all that, and plus, you know, you said about getting together with the people. We used to have weenie roasts, and we used to fox hunt and everything, you know. Go out and the fox hunters would turn their doll hounds loose, you know, and we'd all sit there with the older people and the younger people mingled in together.
Yep.
And there's nothing better than the older people being with the younger people and teaching them. Oh, my goodness, the stuff the kids can learn. The kids are raising themselves. They don't have nobody to show them proper ways to do stuff, you know.
Right.
Hey, I had kids that would come here and weld, you know, and you'd show them how to weld on have to weld good, you know what I mean? It was like on a trailer or something. Where
Right.
they wanted to paint their cars or something in the shop. We did all that stuff, and it was really great. It really was.
Right. You know, and like you're saying, we had chapter conducting at my school, River Road High School there in Amarillo. And we actually went to state competition in Texas, and we actually placed 5th out of the entire state. That is huge.
I actually represented our county in the forestry contest at Penn State, you know. And how could a young guy like that get to go to Penn State and go around the campus, you know what I mean, and look and represent the county here? It was pretty. The knowledge you got, it was just unbelievable. I have used it all through my life.
Right.
I really have.
Right. You know, and FFA is a key ingredient, I do believe, in a young person's education and in life. Just like, you know, back in the day, the YMCA was very important to city kids. They didn't have no place to go, because I don't know how they are now. But back in the day, I remember the YMCA in Amarillo was always busy. And as an FFA troop, we went down there. And, you know, we had 4-H and FFA. And the FFA actually did a lot of things with the 4-H groups just to kind of give them that little boost up, because, you know, 4-H, them guys are showing their critters, just like we do in FFA. I showed steers and hogs. And so I had to keep my book. So we partner up with somebody, and I would help them, you know, learn how to. I'm going to teach you how to train your steer to be haltered, and how to teach him to lead and everything. And that's what we had to do. We had to guide our younger selves in order to help them achieve something. And we need more of that today. We really do.
Hey, there's nothing better than seeing the kids do well, okay? We have a girls basketball team here in the county that's doing really well now. And them girls work hard. There's sports and stuff for the kids. You know, you said wrestling, your brother and you wrestled, you know, my boys wrestled, you know, and it was great. They kept out of trouble that way.
Right. You know, and like I said, with the YMCA, Marita says YMCA is expensive, $180 a week for one child. Holy crap. You know, and that's nuts. But
everything is expensive.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, and here's another thing too. We don't have to spend money to help a kid, help anybody. We don't have to spend money to help an adult. All we got to do is give them a hand up, not a hand out, but a hand up. You know,
what we don't realize, Chris, is just health-wise, what we're doing for the kids when they get out and have raise a steer and have to go out there every day and work with it and raise 4-H pigs. And even if they get involved in, you learn how to start a business, you know, you can manage your stuff, you know what I mean? How to keep checkbooks and different things, you know, because you have to buy feed and stuff like that. The one school down here, they always sell stuff for the spring, the greenhouse, the plants and stuff.
Right.
Stuff you learn.
Yeah. And see, we had we actually had to keep records. We had to turn all of our records in. We had to turn all of our receipts in. We couldn't be in the red on anything. We had to be in the black on everything. And see, when I was going to school, we actually had a bachelor's class that we had to go through. And and they said, you know what, only the girls did future homemakers. Well, actually, we had some guys in future homemakers too. And we actually spent a week in FFA swapping with FHA. So FHA went to FFA and FFA went to FHA. You know, we felt like idiots, kind of like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And it's kind of like, actually, it helped a bunch because
nothing wrong with learning how to cook and sew and do all that stuff.
And I can do that. I can sew, I can cook, I can sweep, I can clean, I can make the bed. Probably not to Donna's liking, but I can make the bed. You know, I can do all that. And these kids, they can't. These kids, they can't even change their own damn oil. I'll probably tell you that. He's a mechanic. He's probably got people that's always wanting him to do some kind of auto work, because if they can do it, why not do it? It's like my truck. I talked to Travis. I've never pulled a diesel motor out yet, but I'm going to on this truck. I'm going to pull that Cummins out. We're going to replace the head gasket on it and the rear seal and front main seal and put it back in. I've done it on gas motors, but see, I have the drive to do that. And our kids today don't, because everything is being handed to them.
Well, I've already had an iPhone for 2 years now, and it is amazing what I can do on this thing and the knowledge you can get from this iPhone. So I'm not completely against the phones, because if they're used properly and you're getting education from them and learning how to do stuff and communicating, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you said, some of the people have to communicate with them. And hey, I get on the internet all the time with my phone and try to learn stuff that I never could ever find out. And what I like about it, you can go to live meetings and you can watch the president be interviewed and stuff if you go to the right stuff through the internet, you know what I mean? And you don't have to go through CNN and all that. You can actually have different places. Even some of our people can stand there and videotape, and we can see that. And there's nothing better than that. It's called instant news. It's real news, I believe.
Right. Right. You know, and that's what I'm saying. You know, we're in that age bracket to where we can shut the phone off for a few hours, and it's not going to bother us.
Yeah, you're right. We can shut them off, but we miss them though. Even at our age, we miss them now, because so much instant information you can find out.
Well, it's because we've become so dependent on them, and I'm so dependent on it just because of this business right here. You know,
what would happen? What would happen if the electric would go off for, say, 3 months?
Very good question right there. If we woke up and we got hit with an EMP, okay, everything would be dead. I mean, everything, even all the vehicles, because especially your gas vehicles, your alternators would be history. Mine would be history too. The only way it wouldn't be history is if I went out and took it out of my truck, or I had a brand new one in here and it never got hit by that EMP. But then I could put it in the truck and the truck would run, because my truck is mechanical. It's not electronical. It's all mechanical. But people today will not know how to survive, because today's society doesn't teach people how to survive, because the government for years have been saying, we will do everything for you. You don't have to do nothing. You won't have to do nothing. We are here to take care of you. We are here to support you. Well, the biggest problem is, okay, there's an EMP. Everybody thinks, well, there goes my electronics. Yeah. What's electronic these days? Everything. Every single thing. Now, out here, we have windmills. Out this part of Oklahoma, we have windmills. That's where we can get water for our animals. And we got a couple of creeks, so we got water. We got wood for the stove, but our stove is big enough we can cook on top of it also. So that's the cool part. Now, people don't realize this, but when you lose electricity, that's everything in your life. Everything in your life that you do revolves around electricity. Now, unless you've lived without it, you're not going to know how to. I've lived without it. I've worked in cow camps. I've lived on grazing associations where we was in cabins and we had lanterns, and there was no well there, so we got our water out of the creek. And I actually made a refrigerator in the ground by digging a hole and letting the water run through it, and that kept everything cold. But most people ain't going to know about that stuff.
You're going to see, Chris, you're going to see the young people run for the old people, because the old people have the old knowledge, how to have water, how to have food, how to get along without electric, because you had one light, you didn't have television. You had a party line, an old party line phone, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, we could survive, okay, but it's still, what they have done, they've moved so many people to the cities to where the trucks and all the stores take care of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's really tough for people, you know what I mean? Like, you shut the water off, you shut the electric off, the storage. Oh, my, they got everybody so crowded up, It really would be horrible, if the electric went off for a very long time.
And here's the thing about it, too, is it's just like Jeff Vire says, any electronic component that has a transistor in it will be shut down if you have components. You have them inside a Faraday cage, you'll be good. But not everybody has a Faraday cage, and not everybody knows what that is. But here's another thing. People don't realize this. There'll be no gas, no water, no electric, no nothing. You won't be able to light your electric stoves up. You won't have
that you had in your pocket would be the only money.
Yeah, because you won't be able to get your money, especially if your bank's clear on the other side of town. Yeah, good luck, because you're going to have to walk it. But like us, we got horses. We can ride those horses everywhere if we have to. Because up in this country, it's ranching country, so it wouldn't be nothing new. So we'd have some empty blacktops where you don't see them semis going no more. But here's the thing. Here's the whole thing about it is the people in the towns, especially the kids, don't think on that level. They won't know how to survive. They don't know how to go out and shoot something to eat, just to survive. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to prepare their meat. They don't know how to package their meat. They don't know how to even have a garden, So it makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder.
I remember the older people, whenever the cold came, okay, they would butcher a hog and they would hang it in the building and go out, and they would cut some off, every couple of days and have it for dinner, or they'd kill a couple of chickens, you know what I mean?
I did that.
I worked years ago.
I was working on a cow camp out in Idaho, and boss man came up and says, I want you guys to go out there and find you a nice big steer and shoot it. We had a bunch of yearling steers out there, so I shot the biggest one there was. We brought it back, and I took it over to this little building that was completely enclosed and cool. And after we gutted it and everything, I took it in there and we hung it up, and we left it there. And what people don't know is about the high desert country, it gets cold at nighttime. I mean, damn cold. And here's the thing about it is we would leave it hang. And we'd go out and we ate on that thing all summer long, and none of it ever spoiled. None of it. We wrapped it in burlap.
The old ways, sugar curing stuff and salt packing stuff. People lost ways is what I call it.
Yeah.
People don't even know how to can.
Well, I bought Donna a book on some of those lost ways of doing things. But like Donna, for years, Donna has learned how to do many things. From canning to beads to stained glass to hemming dresses to embroidery to you name it. She actually just took the time to go learn these trades. Now, here's the kicker. Donna at different times said, well, it's useless information. I said, really? That's not useless at all. Because if we wake up tomorrow and there's no electricity and there's none of this stuff, guess what? You know how to do all that, whereas other people wouldn't.
Well, see, if you ask the young people and the kids, you say, hey, how's about this? Do you know how to do that? Oh, I don't need to know that because I'll just go to my phone and I'll bring it up and it'll tell me. Okay, that's if you have your phone. Okay, if you don't have your phone, everybody stands there and looks at everybody. Nobody knows how to do anything anymore.
Exactly.
You know, you got to have hands on. You got to know this stuff.
Oh, yeah, you do. And this is where people like Donna can teach people, no problem.
Right. That's why I said that young people will be running for the old people just so that they can find out how to do stuff again, you know, how the old people can teach them different things.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like right now, okay, with all the weird weather we've had, what happens if they did one like Jerry said? I mean, Jeff said, what if they did one in the middle of winter? How would people react to it in the middle of winter? Now, I have spent a winter completely blacked out, and I wasn't able to get out for over a month. But we didn't have any power of any kind for all of winter because that snow came that year was a record setter up in the mountains. And I survived, not a problem at all, because I knew how, because I was working on a ranch to where that's how we lived. So
12 days is the longest I ever was without power, and that was in the wintertime. And I want to tell you, it was horrible. Because just filling a generator up every so many hours and trying to get that fuel to keep yourself warm and maybe keep a light on or, you know, keep something, you know, where you could cook with or something. You know, people don't understand it. You know, power goes out for an hour or two, you know, the phones go off, the internet goes off for an hour or two. You think, you know, you don't know what to do.
Right.
People better think about that. I mean, because it's trying whenever the power's out and you can't get gasoline. You can't do your normal routine, you know. It's crazy.
Right. It is. It is crazy. But, you know, that's the whole thing about it. You know, these kids today, and even a lot of our adults today, this is where they don't want the good. They're so in tune with the bad. Well, all that we're talking about is the good, because everything we know will help. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, ladies and gentlemen, if everything goes to hell in a handbasket, what do you think our representatives are going to do? Especially when they can't get in front of a microphone every single day, say 6 times a day, up in a damn plane and fly here, there, or wherever, or they can't just, you know, go spout all this bullshit all the time. What do you think is going to happen then?
Hey, let me tell you, knowledge is everything. If you know how to do something, even if it's the smallest thing, you can get with your community, and you know, you need people to do all kinds of different things. And if you know how to do certain, say you're good, you know, first aid, stuff like that, you can do that for your community. You know what I mean? If you know how to run a power saw, you can cut wood for people. You know, see, that's what people don't do anymore. You know, and it needs to go back to that. It really does.
Right. You know, and this is where we got to get back to Americana. And it's like where Leslie's at over there in the UK. You know, there's a lot of them old farmers out there. I mean, old farmers that are probably sitting in homes and places like that would probably love for some young person to come up and talk to them and say, hey, how did you do this? How did you do that? How can I do this to make this work? You know, this is where, you know, I always talked to my elders when I was a kid, always. Because that's how I learned something. Because like I was saying, I didn't have anybody. I didn't have a mom and a dad around. I didn't have anybody educate me on life. I had to learn the hard way. And that's where I always try to surround myself with good people, knowledgeable people that I can learn something from. And that's where I just, that's where I took every place I've worked, I've gained knowledge and I've taken it with me, and I'm using that every single day.
Well, like you said, community, your community is what you make it, okay? If we all sit at home and we don't stop the drug dealers and raise heck with the people that are driving too fast and just let the world go on by. That's what will happen. They'll take over. Just like you said, stand up for what you believe in. And we need to, if we don't like what's going on, we need to do something about it. We need to join together, and with your friends, your close friends, start out that way first and make friends. Everybody makes friends, they got different friends and stuff like that. Once everybody comes together, everybody's pretty much on the same page. All we want to do is live a nice life, retire, have medical care when we're older, plenty of food, and watch our grandchildren and everybody grow up. Everybody's on the same page. That's what everybody wants.
Right, right. And this is where we have to bring back what is essential for our communities, our counties, our states, so we can actually fix everything that's wrong with the nation. That's
right. You were talking about the sheriffs there yesterday, I believe, and the sheriffs, they have the power. Your local sheriff knows everybody here. They run for offices. You elect them, and they have to come out and meet you, okay? And then when he walks up across your yard, and says, "Hey, Harry," or "Hey, Chris, what's the problem out here?" "Well, so-and-so's doing this, and we don't know who he is, Well, he'll check into it for you,
Right.
Take care of some of these problems. And that's part of being the community,
Right. I remember a time when you knew everybody on your block or on your mile. You knew everybody. You knew what they drove. You knew who was coming up and down your roads all the time. But nowadays, it's not that way anymore. I remember people telling me that they would have their neighbors over with every Saturday. Nothing was planned. Because at 6 p.m. on Saturday, everybody got together at somebody's house on the block or within the section mile. And yeah, it might only be on the section mile. It might only be two families, but they always got together. And it wasn't to get into their business. It was to strengthen their community. And because there is safety in numbers, and you get to know like-minded people that way. And there's been a lot of things that's helped this country just from that aspect, of people coming together, going to each other's houses, socializing. Because, see, that's another factor that we haven't been doing. We have not been communicating. We got too many people talking to us and not with us. When you're talking to somebody, nobody's going to learn anything when you talk with somebody.
About the children, any friends or anything like that. That's part of what's going on because they're not interacting with the kids, like they should be. And come on over. Hey, I remember when I was a kid, 5 or 6 of my friends would pile into my mom's house, and she fed us all, give us all whatever they had, and sent them out. We watched all the kids, or we had sled riding parties, Mom would take them all in there, dry everybody off, feed us. We'd go back on and sled ride the rest of the day, And
right.
Don't go on hardly anymore. It's hard to find that going on.
It is. It's very hard to find that. For one, because people are scared because of all the bad. Yeah, we got pedophiles everywhere. We got rapists everywhere. We got murderers that's done their time and gone out. But how do you know if they're good people or not? The murderers only. I got a very, very, very good friend who murdered somebody. Back in his youth, after he got out of the Marines, he was running some drugs for some people. And he had they made a guy go with him, and the guy wanted to steal all the drugs. Well, Mike wasn't going to let it happen, and he 69 that idea, but he turned himself in. He made his delivery, came all the way back, halfway across the country, turned himself in for it, and he did his time. He served his 35 years, completely, all of it, 35 years. The man has changed his life around completely, 100%, and he's a hell of a guy. Hell of a guy.
Well, Chris, you know, everybody makes mistakes in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get away with them. Sometimes, you know, you get caught. You learn lessons. That's the main thing. It's life lessons. You know what I mean? You learn from your mistakes, and hopefully you don't make mistakes. I've had close calls where I've wrecked vehicles and stuff like that, and said, "Oh, my, was that close?" You learn from stuff, you know. And
you know, Leslie O'Connor.
Growing up and changing.
Leslie O'Connor from the UK makes a very good point. Says, Chris, in America, unfortunately, the Dems, etc., doesn't want families mixing together and communities educating each other because it's all a control thing. And it is. Leslie, you're exactly right.
They definitely do not want that. You know, they want to be in charge, and they want to, you know, say that they're helping everybody. I don't know if they're really helping everybody, you know, whenever they're doing this, free that. Some of the crazy stuff that's coming up, you know, I know you weren't going to talk very much about that tonight, but it just seems like the world's on fire, you know, and, you know, I think some grown-up people need to step up to some of this stuff and start taking back control.
Well, we do. We have to take control back and bring the good back. Get the negativity out, which means get the bad people out of office. Pure, simple, to the point. Get the bad ones out of office, get the good ones in there, and so we can start getting our country back. Because my question is, how do we get the good to take over the negative? How do we get the good back into our communities? How do we get the good back, thus Americana back? Because we need it. In all honesty, this country is dying. I'm not going to lie about it. America is dying right now. We have so much division. We have so much hatred. We got so much malicious intent, frivolous bullshit that this country's dying from neglect, from manipulation, from everything negative that you could ever imagine.
Well, it's the news channels and stuff, and it's attack. It seems like there's Mr. Trump, okay, a man who was very wealthy. Mm-hmm. He didn't have to step into this mess, and he did.
Yeah,
he stepped into it. I don't know if he regrets it. I think he wants to improve the country. Okay, if they would let him do a little bit, let's see what he. Hey. We gave Obama a chance. He was there for 8 years, you know what I mean? Stuff didn't go right, okay? A lot of people didn't agree with him. A lot of people did, you know, some of the stuff he done.
Right.
But they're not giving this president a two-year chance, you know what I mean? Give him some time. Give him some time to do some stuff and let him alone a little bit. Jeez, a whiz.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't know how everybody attacking him from all different sides. If he flips a shoe over wrong, they're going to say, hey, you flipped it over too hard. You know what I mean? I don't understand that.
Here's the funny part is they left Bush alone to serve as president. They never really went after Bush very hard. They damn sure didn't go after Clinton very hard. Even after the truth came out about everything, they still didn't go after Clinton very hard. And Clinton was a moderate. He was not a liberal. He was a moderate. And they damn sure didn't go after Obama very hard. And the Republicans damn sure didn't go after Obama very hard. You know, but now we got Trump, who's not a politician at all. And he's got so much bullshit that he has to put up with every single day and all the negativity. Now, here's the funny part. Here's the funny part about this. This is a multi-billionaire man, self-made man, okay? Who's doing something 99.999% of the population are too scared to do. He is not taking a soul of payment. He's doing this all free will. He's doing this facing all of this bullshit every single day, all the negativity every single day. And he's doing it with a smile on his face because he knows that no matter what, he's winning. He's bringing good back to America.
Well, I don't know if I want to investigate billionaires that take a job like that, or if I want to investigate politicians who become billionaires after they've had the job.
Right. Right. You know, so it makes you wonder on a lot of things. But you have to look at everything he's accomplished since he's been in office. The man has done more good for this country, but right now it's being outweighed by all the negative and the bad. And I'm talking about the bad with the citizens too. Not just in the deep state, but with the citizens. They're just doing nothing but
accomplished if we would have all stood behind him and, you know, give him a little support and pushed him a little bit. And, you know, he wasn't fighting all the time with the news channels and different things. And here's my question to you, Chris. If a country attacks us, I don't know who it would be. Are we going to back him?
Are we going to back Trump?
Right.
If we get,
you see what I'm saying?
If we get attacked,
we're all going to come together and say, "Hey, we have someone who's attacking us."
That brings up a very good point, because, in all honesty, the only time this country and our legislators come together, and I hate to say this, but it's the only time everybody in this entire country comes together and becomes like-minded, is when there's a national disaster, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, snowstorms, whatever, or we're attacked by terrorists. That is the only time this country comes together and the rest of the bullshit's done.
Yeah, it stops then. You know, it seems like, and my goodness, we don't want that to happen. You know, we don't want to, you know, have stuff like that happen. To get behind somebody, you know, and try to help them out. I'll help anybody, you know what I mean? As long as they're, you know, and I'm going to say there's stuff that he doesn't do that I don't like. And there's, you know, but there's a lot of stuff that he does that, you know, that he's really trying, you know.
Right.
And I think he's going to be successful.
Right.
He always has been, and he's going to do the best he can, the best job he can, the best job we let him do.
But yeah, you know, but to get back to the question, or will this country support Trump if we are attacked? Yes. Everybody will come out and say, holy crap, he was right.
I hope so.
They will. Because the Democrats are spouting there's no national emergency on the border, yada, yada, yada. But you know what? 99% of the people have never been to the border. 99% of them have never seen the border between Mexico and the United States. They have no clue. And you can't go by what somebody's telling you. You need to see it firsthand. I've seen it. I've been on it. I've crossed over it. I've crossed over that border, and I've crossed over the border going into Canada. So, yeah. But that's just me. You know, we need to get back to where not only we support this country, but we support each other, and we build on the good and find the good again to find Americana. I know people are probably getting tired of me saying Americana, but that's what we need. We need Americana again. We need people going to drive-in theaters, trying to sneak 4, 5, 6 people in the trunks of the car into the theater, you know, into the drive-in. We need to have jukeboxes back in restaurants. We need to have jukeboxes back in pool halls. We need to have jukeboxes back, you know, at the car hops. We need car hops again. You know, maybe it's just me, but that's what we need.
Hey, you're thinking about the good old days.
You damn right I am. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
And we all want the good old days, you know.
You know, the funny part is I was working out the sale barn. I said this, probably a year ago, but the main boss out there, who's my boss, said he couldn't put me in charge. And I said, why is that? And he said, because these young kids think you're too mean, that you're too hard. I said, well, I've never had anybody hold my hand while I was doing a job. If you said you know how to do the job, then you went and did the job. And if you had to teach somebody, then you took a day, taught them what to do. If you open in pins, you read the number on the gate, you open it up, and if it's wild, don't let it out until they're almost there. Then you close the gate and real fast. That's it. It's simple. You can't mess it up. And he said, well, these kids say that you're mean and you're too hard and you're too gruff.
You're just set in your ways.
Kind of like, I am not going to coddle somebody who's out there supposed to be doing a job. You say you know how to do it, then do it. I've hired people for calving season when I was on ranches, and they call me, well, I'm having help. What's the matter? I don't know how to pull this calf. You said you knew how to pull calves. I don't know how to pull this one. I go up there, one leg down. Well, pull the leg up. Well, how do I pull the leg up? I've been trying to pull it out, with the one leg. I said, holy crap, you're going to rip that leg off. So I fired him.
Well, hey, Chris, you can't be afraid to dive in. You got to dive right in there, clean up to your shoulders.
Right. But this is what we need. We need to get back to common sense. We need to get back to our common values, our morals, everything. And it needs to happen not only here, but everywhere. We can't be, like Jeff R says, the whining rugrats, they need to go away. You need to put a sign up that says it's $5 fine for whining, and make them pay because they whine all day long. Every minute they whine, it's $5.
Well, hey, Chris, I'm going to get off of here and watch the rest of your show. Your show is great. You give us a platform to speak our minds and stuff like that. You'll listen to anything. I'd like to see more people call in because it'll make your show a lot better.
Yeah.
And, well, hey, God bless everybody on the show. And, hey, God bless anybody that gets up and goes to work every day, because I know it's a tough thing to do, but we all got to do it.
Thank you, Harry. I appreciate the call.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. But, yeah, there's just a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of things that we need to do. And, yeah, Crazy Horse, call in. I'll talk to you. I ain't bashful. You couldn't make me run away. So call me Crazy Horse. I'm ready. My phone is ready. But yeah, oh yeah, here's a question for you. I'm glad Marita brought this up. We got to set our clocks back, right? So if we're setting our clock, why did it take the government 50 freaking years to decide whether or not setting your, time of change is bad? I wonder how much money they spent on that one. What do you know, Crazy Horse? How's it going?
I'm doing good. Like the old Native American chief says, only a white man will take 2 inches off the bottom of a blanket, put it onto the top, and thinks he made it longer.
Exactly. I agree.
I don't know where that last caller was from, but he sounded like he was from Pennsylvania.
Yep, that's where he was from.
Okay, and that's where I'm calling from.
There you go.
I'm not a native to Pennsylvania. Yeah, I'm a good old. So I'm telling you.
Damn Jayhawkers anyway.
But at one time, Jayhawkers were badass people on the plains.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, the good old days, I don't know how old everybody is listening, but I grew up from 1950 to all the way through the 60s, went to Vietnam, did a lot of bad shit, but the one thing that I will always keep in the forefront as far as mentoring young people is teaching them the old ways, how to do without the convenient things.
Mm-hmm.
Going without electricity, it's no big deal.
Right.
No big deal. Kitchen stove, I said the other night, my kitchen stove, 1890 wood burner. It's got an oven, cook on top, keep that fire going inside there. It not only cooks your food, but keeps your kitchen nice and toasty.
Yeah, and Donna shared a video with me. What was that called? The sun stove? The sun stove? Sun oven. There you go.
Okay.
A sun oven. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Marita says crazy horse is older than dirt.
You know what? Marita keeps calling me the old fun. She used to come onto my Periscope live feed.
There you go.
Always got a big. I used to get a big kick out of her coming on and calling me, "Hey, you old flirt." But you know what? Yeah, I'm only 69 years old. I'm not that old.
No. You know what I consider old?
What's that?
You know what I consider old? The day they put you in the ground. The day they put you in the ground, then you're old.
Yeah. Well, I used to tell my kids, and I tell my grandkids, that the day I'm going to stop learning is the day they're putting me in the ground.
Yep, and that's where we should all be.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, canning, I can know how to can. Teach and just let it cure in the normal weather.
Yeah.
Normal atmosphere. How to salt pork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said it earlier in the comments. I live off the grid.
Yeah.
I live off the grid. It's not hard. But local government will fight you. They'll fight you to keep you on the grid. And last I checked, no one can force you to buy something you don't want.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to type at the same time answering the question here and sign back in. Yeah, I agree. They don't want you to, and that's a shame. That is a shame. And we're not a country that's supposed to be ran by negativity and by not Democrats, but by representatives that are supposed to be working for us.
Right. That burns me up. That burns me up to no end to stop. They think that we need to be afraid of that. That's the difference between liberty and tyranny. Liberty is the government should fear the people.
Right.
Tyranny is the people are fearing the government.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, I lived over in the UK for 6 years, over where Leslie O'Connor's from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I learned their ways, and I tried to do things so I wouldn't look like an outsider, but didn't want to offend anybody because I'm on their soil.
Right.
Okay. So now we got people coming to this country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this Omar, I don't know if I'm the only one, but every time I hear her speak on TV, I just put the scope up to it, and I get her right there in my crosshairs.
The only thing I'm going to say about that is this is where we've let stupidity overrun common sense. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yep.
I'm going to leave it at that. And that's what it is. It's pure stupidity. And therefore, it's brought bad in. And we need to bring the good back in. And that's where the people from that state need to pull their heads out of their derriere, wipe it off, and then figure out what they got to do to fix it.
I want everybody here listening to this show, I want y'all to know one thing. And I want you to commit this to memory and know this as fact. As soon as these people come to this country, okay, they learn our Constitution better than we know it. And they use it against us to get into the places they're in. Omar knows that Constitution better than most of us and used it to get herself elected. Talib, same thing, knows the Constitution better than most common American people and used it, and they use our freedom of speech against us so they can say whatever they want to say.
Right.
Okay? And they know that because they're told before they get here. As soon as you get there, know that Constitution. They have access to it because of technology. They learn it before they get here.
Right.
And then once they're on this soil and they have their visas, or even these illegal aliens coming across the border, they know the Constitution.
Right.
Because look how many of them from that caravan are suing Trump.
Yeah.
Trump administration.
Right. Yeah, you're going to have to get down here so we can do a show.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait at all.
It's probably going to be a 4-parter.
Probably.
So,
Probably.
All right, I got to let you go. I got just a couple minutes here, and I got to shut her down. But
okay, folks, y'all be blessed. And I agree with Jeff there. It all starts with getting back to Jesus Christ. Have a good night.
Thank you, Crazy Horse. We'll talk to you later. Okay. Man, that was awesome. That was awesome. One of the things, too, I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight, the Cash App. You see, I have this Cash App, okay? It's this one right there. Now, you can talk to Scott Grimes. He sent it. I mean, was it Scott or Jimmy? One of them sent me some stuff today. I'll tell you here in just a second. $5? Yeah. It doesn't say now. But one of them sent me some money on there, and it works. Now, like I said, Cash App. What that is, that's not like PayPal. It's a little bit different. It goes from your card that you get from the bank to my card, my bank card. It doesn't not go in my bank account, so you don't have to put your banking information in or anything. It goes right to the card. Now, he sent me $5 today, and I appreciate that very much. And that way, he knows it works. I know it works. So that's a good thing. But also, that's how it is. You got the Cash App. Where'd it go? Show. Right there. That's my Cash App. $, Mr. Brutally Honest, without the P, without the period after the Mr. So that's my Cash App. And people said they're always worried about going to PayPal. Well, right there's another way. My niece out in Buckeye, Arizona, turned me on to that, and it does work. It works great. And if you want to just stay with the same old, there's PayPal. So, okay, I wanted to let you guys know about that Cash App, and it's just an app you can download. I went to Google Play. Boom, there it was. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great show. Great show. I think this is a show that's been needed to be done a long time. I really do. Because we do have to get back to the good. We do have to get back to the good because there's so much negative consuming our lives via the news, the media, the internet, social networks, everything. It's just bad. So let's do our part. If you can do the challenge, do the challenge. All right. Now, I just put pictures on the page today for it was the t-shirts. Both t-shirts and both caps are on there. The denim one is a women's cap. So women, you girls out there, go get that cap. But anyway, we got the raffle coming up. It's at the end of the month, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys want in that raffle, let me know so we can get your tickets down. We still got quite a few tickets here. Still got quite a few tickets. And we need to get rid of all these tickets. The cross, Jeremy Hansen's plate. You guys get hold of Jeremy on that plate and go from there. So, all right, guys, as Donna Joe says, grow where you're planted. And God bless you, and God bless the Republic of the United States, and God bless the people of the Republic. You know, without you guys, the Patriotic Rancher Show would not be here, and I can't thank you enough. So for myself, Mr. Brutally Honest, I thank you. I thank you with my whole heart, because you guys rock. You do. You guys rock. You guys make everything right. You do. You make it right. You make my day complete. Not as complete as when Donna Joe gets home, because when she comes home, ain't nothing better in the world to me. So, for myself, if you sit on a wooden fence too long, you're going to get splinters in your butt. And if you do, get off the fence, pull them out, put your feet down, go forward. We love you. We will see you guys on Sunday. Bye-bye.